Hello and welcome to this one video. I recorded almost 3 minutes of video where I just couldn't resonate with the vibes of that video, where there were like a lot of breaks, a lot of fumbling, mumbling, a lot of weird things happening within the video of 3 minutes. Like I decided, stop the video first and record a new video. That means just to welcome to this one video we're going to talk about 11 steps of building online business being in your introverted kingdom. Now, one thing about being introverts is like we like to be in our own shells. We like to be in our own caves. We have like our own barriers or walls or the safe zones that we talk about. Like we want to be there and we want to operate. I'll share you two stories before we get into 11 steps. Story number one. It goes like this. Few months back, when we as a family we went to this restaurant and we were giving order. And while we were giving order, that waiter over there, he always came closer to me. He was coming closer to the person who was in charge. Like he was coming closer to me and he was taking order. He was very close to me. He was like listening what I was saying and he was taking. And when he felt we needed something more, he came. He's like, "Well, do you want something else?" He was not asking to the whole table. He was not even asking me standing that side, not that side. He was just closing. He was kind of coming closer and he's like, I was like, okay, I cannot differentiate being in this industry, talking to so many introverts. Like, okay, there are like a lot of ways to do things and there is a specific way that introverts do things. Like if you look at things closely, okay, there is a lot of micro details to be consumed. Like point number two, the story number two is this like one cool friend of mine. Now that person has sent me a song. Like she sent me a song way back, and when I went to the song, I thought she would just record one song and send me. But in that link, she had like hundreds and hundreds of songs already recorded. Nobody was listening to that. But then I was like, dude, that's so inspiring that you have created your own world, you have documented the process, and you already have so many songs with you. She was like, yes, I don't like to send this to anyone. I just like to send with the people who are comfortable, who I am comfortable with. And what happens is, what I learned from that one moment was we like to be in our own kingdom. We like to do things and we want to keep things within that kingdom. We don't want to publish it, we don't want to give it to the people out, but we want to keep it within ourselves and we want to give it to the people who we are comfortable with. Now that brings us to the welcoming of this video. Step number one is what is the process of now you being an introvert way all the way in step number 11. Now point being a disclaimer, thing to be consumed, not consumed or assumed, things to be in, how can I put this? Thing to know one over here is like each step that I say is a process in itself. Now, each step is a course in itself in the Academy of Art and Sciences. Each step has got like in depth. I'm just going to give you the surface level thing so that you get an idea of how things are going to be from a step by step perspective. Step number one is figure out your superpower. Now, think about what are you great at. Think about what you like doing. Think about what do you want to do. I'll tell you one of the things that can help you figure out what you're great at. I'll give you a very key point over here. If you pick, for example, calligraphy as your superpower, that's your domain, and you're doing things because you are great at it, you like doing it and stuff like that. But when someone gives you an opportunity where you are not expecting it and you were asked to present it, now you are put on a hot seat. Now when you are put on a hot seat, are you able to perform or are you not able to perform? That's like a metric for me. If you really are good at this thing but you're not aligned to it, when you're put on a hot seat, when you're put on a spotlight, you will take 10 steps back. So that's like a metric for me. It's like will you push forward? Will you find a lot of ways to do it? One of the things that I have realized in my own journey is when people ask me the same question 10 times and they are not getting answers. One, I get irritated. Second, I feel like, okay, I shouldn't get irritated. Now, I like doing this. What can be a different alternative to answer that one question? Coming with an 11th idea, coming with a 12th step, coming with a 13th step. That's how I have a metric figuring out what your superpower is. Step number two is add influx of content on YouTube. Now this is a big thing to build a business. Now, don't think about views. I'll give you very, very, very honest thing about me as this small point in time, 24th of April. I don't know when you're going to watch this video, but then as of this moment, I have got 0 views on all my videos on YouTube. I've got 0 comments, like 8 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Like if you want to see, I will happily share with you so that, and again, this gets documented as well. where you get to see where I started off and where by the time you're watching it, where I am. Like 8 subscribers, zero views on each and every view. Now I know how to bring in people. Like there's like one view over here, is like this all. I have been doing it for like good 2 months now, and I am working on something called creating influx of content armory. And how can you upsell it? How can you downsell it? How can you add strategy to it? How can you put tactical stuff to it? How can you create courses of it? Now the point being, the goal has to be, how can you add so much of value without expecting zero results? When you get to a point where you detach yourself from the results, and when you're very happy and comfortable with having zero views, it's like, okay, I don't even care if whether people watches this video or not. When you get into that zone, you are now being more beneficial to the people in different angle altogether. You are practicing, you are vocalizing, you are getting great at the craft that you want to great at. Now when the right people come to your door, you will be well prepared of the craft that you have chosen for. Now when it comes to YouTube videos, think about relevant content. Think about relevant content, not priority based content. Think about relevant content, that is, for example, if you're watching this one video, what have you learned? And you learn this, you take notes, and how can this apply to my calligraphy business? How can this apply to my skateboarding super? How can this apply to my swimming business? Like whatever you're doing, how can this apply? Like immediately you can shift the focus. Relevant content. Now think about it as it's not for them. This content is not for them, it's for you. You are creating your own kingdom. You are creating your own shell. You are already in a shell. You are creating that shell, and in further steps will tell you how can you go out and reach out to people. Step number 2.1, like step number 2.1 is, don't tell anyone about it that you're creating content, because you'll get, for example, if you get criticism, if you get judgments, if you get okay, this is not great, watch any, this is not, what will happen is it'll put, you're working on momentum. You're working on confidence. Now when someone posts your confidence in, you are going to fall down. So until you pick that momentum up bold and high, like we say in the academy part, up bold and high, and you don't share it with anyone. We've got different strategies. Step number 3. 7 minutes down the line, step number 3. Step number 3 is all about create courses here. Now again, courses creation is a huge thing, like steps, framework. You can browse in the channel, you like find so many videos when we talk about courses. If you want the strategic part of it, there's Academy of Art and Studies that gives you the core product design. But the step number 3 is, you need to consider, you need to be planning, okay, I want to create course. Now when you create courses, it's based on priority basis. When you create YouTube videos, it's based on relevance basis. Here priority, here relevancy. Step number 4, now write emails. Now writing emails is more on the lines of automations, sequences. It's like pure automations. Like, okay, you write like 30 mails and put 10 mails in warm, cold audience, warm audience, hot audience, and link that back. All what will go in those sequences will be your YouTube videos. Like you've created, like, for example, if you're creating like 2 videos a day, there's like 60 videos a month. Put them into order and start giving people out for free. It's like, okay, take this on for free, and I'm going to give you so many more things for free, and put them into cold, warm, and hot audience, and see the magic happening, experience the magic happening. Writing emails. Now once you write emails, step number 5 talks about create a funnel. Funnel is a different monster altogether. It's a different game, not a monster, it's a different journey altogether. But then when you write mails, don't get into ConvertKit immediately, don't get into funnels immediately. Think of it like, what is the funnel looking like? Okay, what are the major macro elements that I need to be having in a funnel? Okay, I need to have an headline, I need to have a description, I need to have 3 secrets that I'm going to talk about, I need to have like 4 points talking about me, I need to have a photo of me, I need to have like a call to action. That's all. You don't need anything more, you don't need anything less. You need to have a timer over there, you need to have create urgency over there, and keep it plain and simple. Boom, done. Step number 5 was creating a funnel. Step number 6 is now creating a normal website, nothing fancy. Now this is an important one. It's like when people talk about creating websites, I have invested like 6 months learning how to build a website, and it was still not done. I spent more 6 months spending money on learning it, still not done. I'm like, okay, what is the influences used? Okay, I'll get into Squarespace. Well, like it was just like dragging and dropping. I did not need anything fancy. I just needed content that needs to sit on a website and see. Nobody's going to come and visit your website. Nobody. 0 people. Very less. When you're starting off, nobody's going to come anywhere. So you just need websites so that it sits there as a digital resume to algorithm scans it so that the algorithm scans it when you're running an advertisement, stuff like that. So that is about the step number 6. Now step number 7 talks about integrating the systems. Now when I say integrating the systems, by this time you'll be having all the systems in place. Like you'll be having Zoom, ConvertKit, ClickFunnels, ClickMagick, Zapier, Razorpay, Google Sheet. So all these things, now I'm saying it very fluently and very easily in like 5 seconds of this, but then it is going to even today I take integrations say around 3 to 5 hours if I start fresh. I need to put the wire flow for it first. I have to join the dots first. I need to have content ready for it first. If the content is not ready, I'm not getting into systems. Like that's the rule for me. I'm not getting into systems. No matter what happens, I need to have the content ready. Once the content is ready, the steps are in place. Then I get into a website. Then I get into a funnel. Then I invest into Zoom account. I invest into ConvertKit. That's the way I do it. If I don't have things ready, the money is going to starting to get burned, and I don't like money getting burned. I've burned a lot of money. I don't want you to burn money. It's all about right timing. Then step number 8 talks about create a webinar presentation. Now webinar presentation should be step number 7, not step number 8. Step number 7. Before investing into Zoom. So you create your webinar presentation. Your webinar presentation can be on Canva, it can be on PPT, it can be on a whiteboard, a mind map, a whiteboard, a book, whatever that is. However you're comfortable with. You don't have to keep anything fancy, but you need to think about it. Okay, people are going to learn through visual learning. So what are the things that you need to be adding? What are the things that you need to be taking off and stuff like this? Like it has to be straightforward, crisp content, and in a very strategic way. Like in a webinar presentation, what do you have? You have an introduction, you have topics that secrets that you're going to share, you are going to have sales speech. If you divide your whole webinar into 3 categories and there are like 1,000 things to be added within those each categories, it's great. But then it's how the flow goes. Step number 9 is once all these things are ready, what next? What next? Running advertisements. Step number 9 talks about you run advertisements. Step number 10 talks about you make money. Step number 11 talks about once you run advertisements, people are going to come for your webinars. Once the people are going to come for your webinar, they are going to get converted because of your great selling skills. Once they get inside the moment they get inside they become a part of your community. Step number 11 is now that they have transacted you, they have paid you, they have invested you. Now you have got courses to them, you've got expertise, you've got students in hand. What do? You deliver them results. Now they are a part of the community. So the whole goal of your YouTube channel is to help them. Help them, add value, benefit them. The goal of your community, your courses is to get them results. If they apply principles over here, they are going to get results. Here you are going to handhold them and take them forward. Give them more frameworks, give them more strategies, spend more time with them, do one-to-ones, do in weekly calls, do anything that you want to do so that you can help them move forward in their own journey. Momentum, accountability, strategies, frameworks, the guide maps, anything that helps them to get results. Not just helping them. You were already helping them in so many different areas. But then here you are giving them results. You're holding them for results. That brings us to the conclusion of this great 11 steps of building online business, being in your introverted kingdom. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you in another exciting and funny video. The next video that is planned for you is the ABCD, the funny ABCD process of your online business. It's a funny one. See you there.
وبث الدعاء الخفي الصريح يسعك الفضاء الرحيب الفسيح سبيل الدعاء